So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and tonight I'm joined by Joe from the band Umbersound, who just released an album this past January 24th. And we're here to talk about that album in particular that came out and other stuff. So the album is called "In the Fly." If the Flies Could Sing, uh, which I thought could have been a great like title to if Jar of Flies had a second part.
Yeah, that'll be great.
What they would say. So, Joe, thank you for hanging with me on this Tuesday night. So, how are you tonight?
um, I'm good. To be honest, I'm a bit under the weather because of there's like flu season going around. The whole family's getting sick, and I'm just getting over it. So if my voice is a little like deep and hoarse, I'm really sorry.
Okay. Well, it's always the kids.
Yeah.
It's always the kids' fault. Blame the kids. They bring the stuff from the school. So yeah, no, yeah, it's that season. So Umber Sound is a pretty hard band to categorize because this album, on its 10 tracks and I think 46 minutes in length, goes through like doom, metal, like some like beautiful guitar passages, even some like alternative stuff,
Mm.
all in 10 tracks. So it's like very hard to describe, but I like that you have a song on the album that is called The Sound of Umber.
Yeah. I
And
wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what to name that one. So it just reminded me of that color. And oh, sorry, hold on a second. Oh, I think I got kicked out. Damn.
no, I can see you. Don't worry.
Oh, I can't see you. That's really odd. All right, well, it's fine with me. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, actually, the that song, track nine, "The Sound of Umber," that that actually supposed to be a Gray Skies Fallen song at one point, but I don't know, like one reason or another that that didn't go through. It still can be though, but you know, uh, but yeah, so I come out with an Umbersound album each year. Um, well, that's the promise that I made to myself. So because when the reason why it like some parts are really heavy and some parts are not. I kind of like instead of like recording everything in one shot, I kind of go by what I feel. So if I'm feeling a certain something like 1 second, I will run downstairs and you know record the riff to mainly get the feel down because that's the most important thing in in my opinion.
Yeah. So the band, are you doing everything on this record, like all the instruments?
Yeah, yeah. So that's another reason why it takes a while, because I want to get everything perfect. And the drums, they are real drums, but they're sample drums. So
Okay.
uh, the Umber sound in the future is definitely going to be with a real drummer. Yeah, but you can't really tell the difference because it's like it's an actual person hitting the sound, and it's like a whole bunch of different samples. Like it's not just like the same hit over and over again. So that's why it has more of like a human feel to it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell, but yeah. But it's good that it's Aren't you afraid that the real drummer that played that is gonna listen to it? I'm like, like I played on your drums and I didn't know it on your album. Sorry.
Well, Sal the drummer had to learn um, one of the Umbersound songs, and
Mhm.
he was like, like I told him, because one of the Umbersound songs on the last EP, so it was the EP before this last album, so I guess 2 albums ago.
Mhm.
So he was like, he had a little bit of trouble because he had to get like the groove in and feel perfect, because if anything else was played like even slightly differently, it would sound all like kind of off. So, but he's good, so he'll pick things up real quick.
Yeah. So that's the drummer that you use for like when you play live shows.
Yeah, Sal. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So awesome. So this record, I really enjoyed that it went like to different places and it that way it felt like unpredictable. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna get on the song after the other because you have like a song like that's very like doomy, like I think Wolves at the Door, if I'm not mistaken. But then
Yeah.
you have songs that are more like spacier, like atmospherical.
Yeah.
Uh, and if the Flies could sing, yeah, that's a great track, which is the second track song on the record. So I'm sensing like there's like a theme on this record. And you know what? I was searching for the theme of your record, and the first thing I got was what AI interpreted your
Uh,
record to be. If you want to know what AI thinks of your record,
oh.
first of all, tell me is this like is there like a running theme on this record?
uh how do I put this? Um it's more of like and it's more of like my anxieties and fears and things that I went through, but not it's not exact. It's more like the abstractions of it, if that makes any sense at all. So
Mhm.
I'm sorry for sounding so arty or whatever. So, but that's what it is.
Yeah. So do you want are you curious to know what AI says of the record? Yeah,
Yeah.
it says okay. Reviews of Umber Sound's album If the Flies Could Sing describe it as a haunting, visceral experience that explores the balance between life and death. Then it
Okay.
says the album is sad to push is said, okay, I'm like it's said to push the boundaries of doom metal with its slow atmospheric riffs and delicate passages.
Okay.
What? Yeah, yeah, it's funny because and the first thing I got in the computer is like that. But you know what? There's an AI overview of my channel as well.
uh,
I
what does
found it
that
as well.
say?
Yeah, it says like Hector is a dude that's very chill, and he mostly talks from the couch. Yeah, okay. So it's very funny, but no, I like the human feel of it, and I felt like there are some songs that could have been doomier. I even felt some songs that could be like alternative, like grungier or like what's the word I'm trying to use? Like you have doom, you have like stoner, you have a lot of things like thrown into one. So it's interesting. So it's you were all so it's not a concept record. It's more of like a feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was trying to go for that, trying my best to go for that.
We
You
need to
know.
explain it, or AI is going to explain
Oh,
it
I
for you.
know. Oh my God. It's just if I'm feel I actually I guess I'll kind of start with this, I guess. And I've said this in I've like for years I've been having dreams about flies for some reason. I don't know why. Just kind of like the visual of like a fly kind of going like this, going up really fast. And then I would wake up and feel anxious the whole day for no reason. There's no reason why I'm anxious. I'm just anxious, that feeling of dread, and I just wanted to get that and kind of just bottle it in the albums so I could finally just get over it and just move on to the next thing. And it actually helped. So it's
Yeah.
just like how music is therapeutic for people, it is for me.
So you put those flies in a jar.
Yeah, pretty much. Jar of flies.
So you put them in a jar of flies. That's interesting. Like I wonder why flies. Like they just happen. You would just be happening. I wonder if you were asleep and maybe there was a fly like flying
I've
around, and that's why you dreamt of them.
that could be it, or maybe when I was younger, I saw Amityville Horror and got scared when I was a kid. That scene with the flies or something. But yeah, I mean, I've been trying to look up the mythology of flies. What do they mean? And I'm not sure if it was Celtic, but it symbolizes either uh, death and rebirth, or pretty much straight up decay. So
Yeah, makes
that's
sense.
interesting to know. So I just wanted to get that in so I can move on to the next thing. And I'm always writing. I'm always either full songs or just I have a million riffs that's all over the place in my hard drive.
So when you're writing the lyrics for this, because you said earlier that when you have a riff, you have to go down and write it like does it come as easy with the lyrics or harder for you like what because it seems like the lyrics are like very stream of consciousness for this record.
Yeah, I just kind of let it flow, and just
Mhm.
if I could connect with the listener, that they hear the music, and they hear the lyrics, and they're like, okay, I know what he means. I could connect with that. You know, then I'm glad, and I've done my job, and I'm glad. I'm glad for that, at least.
Yeah. One of my favorite tracks from the record is track 7, One Suffers, One Withers.
Uh
And that one
that
just some amazing guitar parts. When you think it's going to end, then it comes back
Yeah,
and it gets like harder and more aggressive. And I'm like, that's the withering part.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that track. I thought that track was amazing.
Um, well, well, for the whole album, I wanted to kind of like get like a kind of like take the listener for a ride, like start like high, higher, then go low with the last two tracks, be because the
Yeah.
last two tracks are kind of on the mellow side, and I wanted to do that with one song. I just wanted to see if I could do that with one song, and put that in the album, and just kind of hit people with that. But I actually kind of started off mellow, and I kind of built it up, then stopped it, because at the end there's like this death metal part that just comes out of nowhere.
Yes. I'm like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? That's why this record has so many styles. But yeah, the last two tracks on the record felt like more like on like they almost felt like there was some classical guitar, like something my grandfather would play, like the
uh,
Spanish guitar. like more soothing stuff. And the last track, Open Letter to the Silent, which is like it's an acoustic.
Yeah.
It's just like very mellow, and there's like a sound that you do with the guitar there at the almost at the end. That it's like very serene. I don't know what you were doing, but it was a very like it stayed in my head.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That's that's very, very, very good to know.
And I'm glad that it doesn't have like you singing because it's an open letter to silent. So
Yeah,
it's silence.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why. Yeah, sometimes the title of the song just says it all. That's all I have to say, pretty much. So I just left it at that. Sometimes you have to keep things just simple to the point.
Yeah. The song before that, what language is that? I soy
That's
so mia tragodia.
that's Greek. Your life a tragedy.
Yeah, I know tragodia, Spanish and Greek. I would
Oh,
figure
yeah,
that that was a tragedy. Yeah. Uh, so pretty similar. So yeah. So yeah, that was pretty cool album, and I'm glad I got to listen to it because there's so many stuff that sometimes things go under the radar.
yeah.
And on the 24th, actually this January has impressed me because usually Januaries are known for not many like good releases, but there's been some pretty awesome stuff that come out, especially the 24th. And
Huh.
I thought there was a lot of like cool stuff coming out. So I'm glad I got to listen to it. So you also in what do you do in Gray Skies Fallen? Do you play guitar there? What are you
Uh,
doing the other
yeah,
day?
yeah. Play guitar and I do the backing vocals.
Okay.
So
So
yeah,
on this one, you do this is like
the
your
vocals.
passion project, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so the the writing of the lyrics, we were talking like a few minutes ago, like it's like a stream of consciousness. So have you like since you were dreaming of flies and things, do you like keep like a pencil and a pen and wake up and like write something like that just comes at you that way?
Oh, as you probably maybe noticed, that sometimes I could be all over the place. Sometimes I will record lyric ideas in my iPhone. That's where I mostly do it nowadays. And sometimes if I see a pen and a back of an envelope, I have to write it down really quick before I forget because I will forget in like 4 seconds. So yeah, so I kind of keep it as neat as I possibly can, and then I put it all together. And with the lyrics, with me, to be honest, it does take longer with me because I am more of a music guy, of a songwriter type of guy. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, good stuff takes time. So let me show you the. Let's talk about the artwork for the record. So here we have it. So here's the Umber sound. If flies could sing, but the funny thing, there's no flies on this cover.
Yeah, I know. But if you look at the smokestack, the
Mhm.
smoke, if you look really
Mhm.
closely, he put flies in there. It's
Yeah.
really in there. You really have to look.
Ah,
I I wanted
I
more
see.
like yeah, I wanted more of a
I
kind
see
of like,
some wolves there.
yeah, kind of like someone is you know you're safe at home, and it's someone who's afraid of the outside world. They look out, whether it's really happening or you know they are perceiving that it's happening. There are wolves all around, and
Yeah.
that's, yeah. And the artist who did it, who made this, was, his name is James Hutton, Hutton, or UN. I'm not sure what it was, but yeah, he did a really good job with this.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool artwork. Uh, so when I watched, I'm like, yeah, I wonder what this will sound like. And yes, this I never understood why people like to go to like a lonely house in the middle of fucking woods alone and feel comfortable. I would be anxious as fuck.
Uh, I mean, it looks cooler than I don't know, like a street and have like a
Oh
bunch of
yeah,
like a regular.
yeah.
But
And the funny thing is that maybe you, in the crowded street, you are in more danger than in the woods.
maybe, yeah.
Maybe, who knows? But yeah, it's a cool album, and I like it that it's only black
Mm,
and white, and you can tell that it's night. So it's like it's got like that eerie feel to it.
yeah.
But you can tell the trees. So yeah, it's great artwork. I know this came out last Friday. Is it only digitally, or can people buy this physically?
In the near future, I will make a post that we're gonna have vinyl, but it's gonna be like just like a very limited run.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, great. It's a great album cover, and it has that feel to it. So since this album is so, there's a lot of variety in it.
Mm.
I was like, I need to pick Joe's brain of his influences because there's so many stuff here that he has to have some great influence. So like what, like when you were starting as a kid, when you wanted to do music, like what made you want to become a musician?
Um, Actually, I like when I was like really young, I used to be like a power metal guy. Halloween,
Oh
um,
yeah.
Kai Hansen, and actually
I
I
interviewed High Hansen's son.
oh, you did?
Yes,
He's
he has a band, and yeah,
really good.
yeah.
Awesome, actually. And uh Manowar. I don't care what anyone says. I love Manowar. Manowar is awesome. Um yeah. When I heard Ross the Boss play and Kai Hansen and the the great three I call them and Iomi, they made me want to play pretty much. So it's mainly like this the standard stuff and like the power metal stuff. And this was back when because in the 1990s, especially in around the New York area, you would be pretty much shunned for liking metal, especially power metal, because hardcore was a big thing here.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know.
Biohazard, especially in like the 90s. So you almost had to hide it.
So if you went to a hardcore and you went with like they'd be like, no, no, like long guitar solos. You gotta do like a breakdowns and things.
I went to a show with Rick many years ago. It was a place called L'Amour's. It used to be this really famous club, and Carcass played there. It was I think they were supporting Swan Song, and there were like a bunch of hardcore bands opening up for Carcass, and one of the singers for one of the hardcore bands took the Carcass poster and tried to wipe his butt with it, like like Carcass sucks. We're better than Carcass. You know what I mean? It's like, and it was
That's a
like an
very
indoor thing.
technical death metal band.
Yeah, and it was all because they're metal and we're hardcore. We're real music and all that stuff. So there was a lot of that back then here.
Yeah.
I'm
Funny
glad.
that from
Yeah,
hardcore and metal came metalcore.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, that's I've talked to Rick. I know his story. So We talked about the golf clubs.
Oh yeah. Oh, the the bank and the Bat Cave. Yeah, that
There
one.
was one called the Bat Cave.
Yeah, yeah. There's a place called the Bat Cave. Yeah, yeah. But I'm not sure if Rick ever went to the bank. I know we went to the Bat Cave, and it was just like a fun place to go to. They used to blast the like the Sisters of Mercy, all that stuff. And then
Mhm.
like all these people and girls who would dress in black with the black makeup on their eyes, the same old stuff. The
Yeah,
same stuff that's still going on today, actually.
yeah. We actually have some of the people here in Puerto Rico, and they call themselves, since this is a tropical island, they call themselves Tropidarks. They're
Tropidarks.
Tropidarks. They're
I have
tropical,
to
but
look
they're
that
dark.
up.
What?
That sounds hilarious. I have to look
It's
it up.
hilarious. There's one that's on Instagram, and she's like really like, and but she dresses like that, and people here would find that weird. Uh, Back in the days, like you could I saw people, we called them the goths. You could see them at the mall. They always like stayed in some place, and they looked like they were like
Yep.
depressed all the time.
Yeah, the same thing here. Yeah. Yeah.
like but yeah, some great music, but yeah, they call themselves Tropi Darks. Just Google that after we talk, and you like, because that's how they, because they're
Uh,
tropical but they're dark and
yeah,
gothic.
it's dark and mysterious. Ooh.
Yes. And mysterious, yeah. So so what's next for Umber Sound now that the album is out? Are you, is there some shows that you're gonna play for this?
Uh, I plan to get a live band together. Um, but right now, what I'm doing is pretty much, to put it simply, every year till the day I die, I'm gonna put out an Umbersound album, and that's it.
That's a every year, like that's a lot
Every
of, yeah.
year, yeah. If seriously, but if I don't write, if I don't like put songs together and write, I'll really go crazy. So I have to do it pretty much too.
Yeah, but the same thing. I've created people, like, for like, I don't have to interview that many bands. There's not a whole lot of channels, but I like interview because there's channels that, of course, it's good to interview like the super known
Oh yeah, yeah.
artists. But I love to talk to more underground artists because there's some great shit,
There
great
is.
music out there that a lot of people don't discover because obviously they're not a like well-known band. So that's why I like to cover some stuff, because
Hmm.
when I see like an end of year list and Linkin Park is number one,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Uh,
no,
uh,
no. I'm like, no, that cannot be number one. But yeah, that wasn't my number one last year. It was Blood Incantation.
ah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, great album. But so yeah, so you're trying to get a band together to do some shows, and you're going to keep writing music. Like, so, like, will it be albums or EPs? It just depends on the year.
Yeah. 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 Just depends. Maybe one time I'll do with um what what some bands do, and maybe I'll put out a 40-minute song if I feel like
Yeah,
it. I don't know, but every year I'm always going to come out with something.
yeah. So it's you do it because you love it. So
Yeah.
it's that's it sounds, and like I said, the album has a, it's hard to describe because it has so many different things. So you're like, yeah, it's not a record that is like all the way, all the songs have different stuff and elements to it. So the name, when you were Umber Sound, like, how did you came up? Like, is there a story behind the name?
Um. Well. To make it short, I had to come up with something that of course no one else has, and that kind of I don't know about stands out, but I tried my best to come up with something that stands out that if you see the band name and hear the music, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's Umbersound. So I knew I wanted something with color.
Mm.
So and I've always liked the that color. So I was like, umber what? Umber this, umber that. I just made a whole list, and umber sound just pretty much sounded the best. And I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? Let's not go farther than that. Umber sound it
Yeah.
is,
It
and
sounds
that's
uh, it sounds better than Umber Garden.
yeah. Umber Garden.
Yeah, well, Soundgarden, Umber, Umber
Oh,
Garden.
okay. Now I know. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, but Umber sounds good. It rolls out of the tongue easily. Uh, so yeah, Joe, it's been great chatting with you. So the album is out digitally, but in the near future, hopefully some vinyl. So where can people they can follow you on Instagram, any other socials where they can keep up
Oh,
with you
yeah. Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok as well. And you
until it gets banned?
until it gets banned. Yeah, it was banned for a day, and then it wasn't. I don't know what.
That
I
I
don't know.
don't. You know what? That's not even a ban. That's
Yeah,
like like TikTok and the US were on a break, and TikTok just decided to go and shit on the US.
pretty much. I don't, that was
Yeah,
just
I remember
odd.
that morning where they banned it. I don't care because I wasn't using it, but I did an episode of my series and we did like a moment of silence for TikTok, and then a few hours after it aired, it was back on. Like,
It
what
came
the
right
fuck?
back. Yeah, I was like, okay, we're doing this again. Okay, TikTok. Okay, fine. Yeah,
Whatever. So I'll post the link. And I'm guessing you're on Bandcamp as well.
Bandcamp. Yeah, Umbersound.
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. Yeah.
So yeah. So Joe, before we go, anything that you like to say to the fans or maybe possible new fans?
Just thank you very much for the support and just listen and connect with it. And that's about it.
Yeah, that's great. Music is there to connect with you and not only be like because there's great musicians that are like great technical,
Yeah,
but this album, like we've been discussing, has a lot of like you feeling. And I don't know, I prefer an album that has feeling and maybe it's not perfectly musically
yeah,
than something that's like, oh, like you're playing all the things and there's no error, but where's
yeah,
the feeling?
yeah. Oh, yeah. There are some bands.
This, yeah,
Oh,
I,
sorry.
yeah. No, go ahead, finish.
Yeah, no. When like there are some bands when they record, you see, I don't mind every now if like things aren't like perfectly set up. Like if the left guitar track rhythm is like there's like something else going on than the right, but it kind of clicks, but it kind of sounds cool. Like I just leave it. You know, there are some people that it has to be perfect. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
some bands
yeah.
that do that.
I think,
I'm not one of
yeah,
those.
yeah. And I think I also enjoyed the sound of Umber sound because I don't know, it had like that 90s
Yeah,
aesthetic music that I grew up on the 90s, so
yeah,
I
me
love
too.
like
Yeah.
that's why I gravitate to a lot of stuff that has like that sound or that aesthetic. So, Joe, I want to thank you for joining me. I think you're somewhere in New York, right?
Yes, Staten Island. Yeah.
From New York here to Puerto Rico. People, couchers, Umber Sound, If the Flies Could Sing is out now digitally. You can go and stream it, listen to it, and support like more independent artists that are putting out awesome music out there in the world. So, Joe, thank you for your time tonight. I had fun.
Thank
So,
you for having me.
yeah. Until next time, couchers, this sector, the shield dude on a couch, and we'll see you all next time right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.